Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. We've reached episode 99, all very exciting. It's an extended episode, it goes on and on and on and on, so I won't keep you. Just to remind you that if you can, please subscribe, rate and review our funny little show on your podcast app of choice, and it helps us with our ratings and our whatever. I don't know really how it helps us, but it's just nice. And to say that we always like to hear from you, either on social media, on Twitter at Billowing Hilltop, through Facebook, or of course you can email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com. That's it, I've got no other news or information, so let us push on with episode 99 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Finally some JJ Cale. Episode 99 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, River Runs Deep. Good evening everybody, good evening. I'm here with Dan.
Hello.
And Graham.
Hello.
And I'm here with Dr. Eusebio, Spider Lucas.
Good.
And Johnny.
Evening.
And we
Hello.
have wired up an old car battery to something that we found down the back of one of the benches. Basically, it's just a mouth and a hand.
Oh, it's Paul.
But we think it's working, so we also welcome back Part of Paul. Hello, Part of Paul.
Hello.
You can't tell, can you?
You can't tell which part of me it is, though, can you?
No, although...
No, that we can
Obviously
guess.
the mouth.
Can somebody just tilt him a little bit because it's all coming out of one side of the
It's a
mouth
bit
there.
burbly.
Leaking from one side.
Yeah.
Oozing.
Put down some,
Matting.
kitchen towel or something. Yeah,
Juicy.
Something. It is a little juicy.
Something
It is a
absorbent. Right.
Yeah, put down something absorbent. We haven't played for ages. Hello, readers. We haven't played for ages, readers. So
No, we have.
We're all kind
No,
of...
we have. We just
Like-
played last week, Mike.
Oh, of
Don't
course,
break the
that's-
fourth
yeah.
wall.
I think we broke the fourth wall a very long time
Yeah,
ago.
possible.
Now that we have a bit of Paul left, we can reattach his wrinkled bag. But shall we pull something out of the
Oh,
bag?
Just
Really?
be very, very careful. Given
Okay,
what's
here we
left
go.
of me,
Yes.
you could disrupt.
Yeah. This moment it's all a bit all creatures great and small. So I reach in. Just finished episode 70 of your podcast, all episodes of which were binged in 3 weeks.
Wow.
I mean,
That's a little record.
Incredible work by you all. I started a game of Billowing Bingo,
Wow.
where I listen out for common phrases such as, I don't mean to metagame here, but...
Mm.
Is he
Yes.
asleep again? And are you going to gamble?
You gonna gamble?
Unfortunately,
yeah,
I
that
now
one,
have
that
to
one
wait.
wears thin a bit, I have to say.
I like
God,
saying
yeah.
it.
Well, also we don't do it anymore.
Good.
Because there's no point in gambling. We need to come up with something else. Oh, God. Okay, Killjoy. Unfortunately, I now have to wait for
Not that I'm
episodes
criticising
instead
you.
of listening to 3 a day. But keep up the good work, and then I won't bother with the rest of it because I don't think nobody wants to hear the end of that little message. He says, I'm rooting for Uncle Buggy.
Why?
Was he? Did he?
God, who are these people? It's like, why do they exist?
How do they exist?
Well,
How do they exist?
well, it's like J.R. Ewing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps you watching.
I can't wait till we
I've
meet.
yet to receive
Marcus
a free pint
Doombringer.
in Weatherspoons, which is the measure of some sort of success.
Johnny, I'll buy you a pint. Weatherspoons apparently do it.
No, it's got to be someone who...
Doesn't have to be
Doesn't say.
spontaneous. Yeah.
They do
Isn't that-
£2 pints, which are basically the leftovers of all the barrels
Well,
mixed
apparently
together.
they do a 60p shot.
Oh, God, what's that
God.
of?
Moonshine.
Something that's already been shot by somebody else.
Some industrial sludge.
It's a whiskey. It's
Tap
in
water.
description. Oh God,
Is it a
I've
little
never had it.
miniature glass of Tim Martin's sweat?
Apparently, that's what the students have
Overpriced at
discovered.
60p.
A bit like what's happening with the bit of Paul that we've got with us this evening. They just collect all the
Attach
little
a
moisture
tube and a
bits
bucket.
that drip off. Yeah. Thank you, Lee Smith, for your message. It's very kindly received. We don't agree with you about Uncle Buggy. None of us want Uncle Buggy to survive, especially what's happening. Should we do a recap? Anybody need to know
Yeah,
where
I
we
do.
are? Oh, you weren't here, were you?
No.
They tried the river, the Red River of nastiness.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you miss, Paul? Burple used his figurine of wondrous power, turned out to be cursed. It attacked them. Were you present for any of this?
No, I the last thing I did was when we were setting up for that session.
Oh, okay. Well,
Suffice to say,
Then they
everybody's
decide-
in the middle of everyone's just been enclosed in a trap apart from me.
Well, Sessions
Yes,
flew
they-
down on his broom, didn't he? Down the
they
river.
decided to head
I
south,
did.
down the steps on the
Oh.
other side of the room where you rescued Hesty.
Yeah, we float.
And there's
Yeah.
you've flown down and there's a set of steps, and then the steps lead to a drop of about 40 feet down to a split corridor that heads off in
Yeah.
kind of odd angles. Readers, we're looking at a map that you can't see.
So there's a
but
corridor
hey,
at 2 o'clock and a corridor at 3
Did we
o'clock.
not drop Uncle Buggy on the floor? Was he there?
That's exactly what happened. Parker walk down the walls. Alessandra flew down on her little wings of what's-it, and at the moment that Uncle Buggy was dropped onto the floor by Sessions, an iron door slid across, a horizontal iron door slid across, sealing off the section you're in from the staircase. At the top of the staircase, back up in the world of the people with a future, is Burple. The other thing that happened when Uncle Buggy dropped onto the ground is that the ends of the two passages burst open. One of them clearly plugs straight into the flow of this red river. The other passage, if you like, the outpipe, we're going to call it, that looks like it opens out into some kind of channel or cavern or opening where clearly the river is there. So enormous quantities of blood red water are about to rush towards you down one passage, and it looks like they flush you out of the other passage. You think...
Well, it's good job we
Alessandra-
got a pool here. You know, sounds a bit like his dealings with Thames Water.
if there's anybody here who has got the real-world experience to apply to this problem, it is metagaming. Paul has had several run-ins around fatbergs of his own solo creation.
God.
He used to sell them. Eventually, he started selling them on Etsy. But
The shipping is just really expensive.
so it looks like this water is going to flush you out. You've got
Which in Paul's case
one
is quite a good thing.
round, you think, before you're got. What would you like?
How
I
high is
think
the
Sessions
ceiling,
flew
Trudy?
down the river, didn't he, on his broom, and saw that
Alessandra, yes.
saw that there was a big waterfall or something, or a big chasm that the water was going
Alessandra
down.
followed the course of the river through its winding passage, back to Paul again, and found that it terminated in a vertical pitch over the edge into a sinkhole.
Right.
This roaring
So this is
waterfall
where
that-
we're being flushed out to, probably.
It flashes through Alessandra's mind in the very brief instant that she's got to think about this, that where the outpipe seems to be pointing, that would kind of match up with where the sinkhole was. Yes.
How high is the ceiling?
Well, it's a 40-foot ceiling where you're standing at the junction, but the ceiling of the actual pipes themselves as they head into you are only at about 15 feet. So you think you've got an opportunity potentially to be pushed up if you position yourself correctly, but you don't know how long that would buy you.
Well, you said we got a round.
You've got a round to decide
And-
what to do. You've got some rungs on the wall that run down from the staircase to the floor. They look like a good thing to hang on to.
And is the water that's coming down the corridor completely filling...
This is D&D. It's
Yeah.
just hanging there.
No, I know that, but is it completely filling the corridor?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And is it
looks
coming
like this
from
is going
both
to be...
directions or just the one?
No, it's coming from the northeast direction. It looks like it's going to flush you out through the other one.
Right, well I will...
Do
Go
we
up
have the
the
bag of
wall.
holding?
Yeah.
You do have the bag of holding. It's a bit full, but yes. I mean, it's got Wolverhampton in it for starters. And
Well,
a
if
grand
I've got
piano.
a round, I'll go back up the wall.
Okay, you think that what would happen is that you bought yourself a bit of time before the level of the water would catch up with you. Whether or not the force or the current would be sufficient to whisk you back down again, you're not sure. But certainly you would feel
Well, at
you're
least it won't
protected
hit
from the
me
very
full
first
on, yeah.
rush. Yeah, okay,
Not
so you're
gonna-
going to walk back up the wall. Sessions, you're floating above the ground, clearly low enough to have dropped Buggy off.
Yeah,
So therefore about a foot off.
Can I grab
about a
the
foot off the
broom?
ground.
Can I get a ride? Maybe head out eastwards.
Are we doing this in round turn order, or are we just?
well, I would say,
Everybody just gets to do one thing, and then the water comes.
I'm going to move. Pick up Buggy if he wants to be picked up.
Oh, great. Are you flying?
I'm going to go to the 3 o'clock exit.
Down towards the outpipe.
Yep. Before I get.
So you're trying to outrun the water.
Yep.
Grab onto his ankles or something?
Her ankles.
Sorry.
She moved me.
I can move 80 foot.
And if you move 80 feet,
So that's to the entrance
Gets you-
to the
yeah,
outpipe
let
is
me
40
re-
foot.
you can fly out. And you know this area because you've been there before. You don't remember this, Paul, because you weren't here. Well, you didn't exist.
No.
right, they've gone that way, have they?
They're heading for the outpipe.
Rather than
Graham.
get flushed, we're just going to outrun it.
You're going to try and outrun it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to grab Parker and...
Parker's already walked up the wall, but you can still grab him.
Okay, well, can I reach him?
Yeah, well, if you fly up, you can reach him, yeah.
Okay, I fly up sufficient to...
I haven't finished my move yet.
Right.
I know.
I just shout
I'm on it. I'm on
to
it.
Parker, come with me, and I'm going to dimension door into the room behind the room with the lightning thing.
Right.
Right.
The sort of antechamber before the
Yeah.
Hesty prison
Come
chamber.
with me if you want to live.
Okay. I'm
Thanks,
just,
thanks, Lucas.
Yeah, thanks, Lucas. That was.
It's like he's in the room.
It's like he's in the room, but had a
You just have
mild
to
stroke.
imagine it.
really, really annoying.
I say the words and you imagine it.
It's a good job we don't need the correct answer.
Yeah.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
It's my new show I'm touring with. Come with me if you want to. Live. I'm sort of revealing more than you can really see here, but hey, fuck it. There we are. You can see, Alessandra, the terminus, as it were, of this river as it drops over into this sinkhole. There's a little skirt of very slippery looking rock, and then the water plunges over into depths as yet unknown. Obviously it's dark, but your dark vision is revealing stuff. The sound is deafening.
Yep.
You want to keep flying?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over the sinkhole, drop buggy, and then go up the... I'm joking, obviously.
It's alright, I'm
Go up,
clinging
I'm
to your ankles, remember? Like some rabid ferret or something like that.
And then I'm
Some
literally
rabid
going to...
ferret.
Because that's what rabid ferrets do, apparently.
Yeah,
I'm going to
grab
circle
onto your
back.
ankles.
I'm going to fly in the reverse to what I did before. And
So you're flying back upstream.
back upstream and going to join Sessions and Parker in the other room.
Are there any ledges around the edges?
Are there ledges around the edges?
Yes.
Benson and Hedges. There is a ledge that runs, a very slippery looking ledge, like a kind of apron of rock, runs around the sinkhole. It looks a little unstable.
Theoretically, could someone walk along the ledge?
Theoretically, somebody could. There've been dice rolls involved.
No
And of course
openings
that-
off?
Must rule it out for you. No openings. No, nothing like that. No, it looks like it. Otherwise, it's just a dead end.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Burpledy-Herpledy-Hoopledy.
Well, I don't really have much I can do. So what?
You hear, and Sessions and Parker appear on the other side of the room from you.
Yeah, I go. What's going on? So basically, a big block came down, or did it go up?
That is role playing. That's basically critical roll at your heart out.
What's going on?
It was a metal
I'm in
horizontal
character now.
door that slid out from the base of the stairs and sealed off the way down. Sort of shing.
Right.
You could stand on it. I mean, you wouldn't because you'd be crazy to, but you could stand on it. What do you want to do? I'm just giving you the round that everybody else has had.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not want to do anything
Not sure there's anything I do.
particularly want to do.
I'll
Surely-
go back up and join Sessions and
Parker
Parker.
in the room with the carpet,
Sure.
in the rug room.
We
We
explained
just
we
want
may
to
have
go-
triggered a trap.
Yes.
And
No
Well, we
shit,
can-
Sherlock.
we can sort of therefore roll the clock forward because
Well, we should try and go back round via the river now, I assume.
Alessandra and Buggy, I presume, you fly back to the beach, back to where you had the battle with the weird blood blobs, and you can join the others.
Can you reveal the map?
I don't think it's going to give you the answers that you seek, but yes, I shall reveal.
Because Burple's vision was saying we should go this way, isn't it? Is that right?
Yes, twice he's been visited by a vision, and he's felt compelled, when presented with this vision of this river, to throw himself in it and follow its current.
Oh, maybe we're supposed to actually go down into the sinkhole then.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Or
Yeah,
there
it's
may
just
be
a
a
question
passage
of
we've...
There
How
you
we
go.
do it, rather than being flushed down there without any control.
We're back to Paul
Easier
again.
for
Or
us to...
search the whole
exactly.
thing round the outside. I mean,
There's no escaping from him.
No.
It's a
escaping from it.
never-ending
Yeah,
litany of joy and
never-ending slurry.
grab handles and cushions on the ceiling.
Okay, that's separate. That's that club in Paris that you visit, Paul. That's
Oh,
different.
well, yes, there is that. As
Right.
well. Shall we just go down? Should we just,
Yeah. Should we just go down?
should we just go down? Should we just drop in?
we could dangle Uncle Buggy.
You can dangle
Well, I
me.
was thinking of I'll just
On a rope, yeah.
drop down. Uncle Buggy, you've got an option to say whether you want to
I'll
come with me or not.
Cling onto your ankles.
You'll cling on to my ankles as we go down, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody else going with them?
God, no.
Well, I can fly and keep an eye from a sort of safe distance. I can carry...
Like waiting at the school gates.
yeah,
You're going to fly with them.
but you know, I don't want to embarrass them in front of their friends, so I'll hide in the car around the corner.
Okay.
I can bring one chum with me. Now that seems very close. Ever move me there? I think the
You're
previous...
our insurance policy, Graham.
Yeah.
If things
Would you
go
like to
wrong.
hover reassuringly over this little rock pinnacle?
Is this visible, the side passage, or is it underwater now?
No, it's all underwater. There's water
right.
flowing,
Right.
gushing out of the passage that you would have been flushed through.
Right,
And out into the
Did you
sort of-
say it's possible to sort of stand on the edges of this river?
There's a little apron of
Right.
slick rock that surrounds the actual pitch down into the abyss. That you think that with a dice rolls maybe involved, a bit of balancing and a bit of whatever, you could...
Dice rolls for walking or standing?
I think Parker probably can just walk there,
Yes,
can't he?
that's
Isn't he
that's
like...
what I'm thinking about. I mean, obviously you can walk across the water, but I'm assuming that he can't stand on the water.
He can't stand on waterfalls.
No.
He's probably got the wherewithal to get to the place. I think he probably
I
need
will
to make
basically go down to the halfway point and stand on the ledge then.
Okay, put yourself on the map where
That's
you want to
one
be.
move would be there.
Does Burple want to be carried?
Yes, I'd like to be carried, please.
Okay,
Okay,
you can move yourself next to me then.
okay. So
I'm going to
we've
move
got-
myself next to you.
We've got Sessions and Burple on the broom, on the sweepstake. You've got Parker clambering along the wall of the watercourse, and then clinging like a rabid ferret to the ankles of Alessandra. You have Buggy, as they sort of hang over the moment of decision.
Are you going to
Yeah.
lower him down on a rope or something?
No, just
What are
going
you going to do?
just going to drop.
The two of you are just going to drop together?
Yep.
You're certain?
Well,
Well-
Buggy's got no choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you happy with this, Buggy?
Yeah.
Alessandra and Buggy disappear.
I'm going to, before we go down,
And
I'm
then
going
what
to
happens?
hold my nose and hold my breath.
Okay. Well,
Do we
don't
hear
know.
screams of
I've got a...
You don't hear anything. I mean, you can hardly hear each
Rotating
other over the
knives?
roar of. You can hardly hear each other over the roar of the
I've got my...
cataracts. Burple, Sessions, Parker. They've gone.
Well, I'm slightly surprised at them having plunged themselves into the... I think we would say a quiet prayer.
Come on, you've got to come along. Okay.
Do it. Do it.
To the Lady Luck Misfortune.
Yeah,
Okay.
a blessing on the passage to the afterlife.
Come on in, the water's lovely.
Nobody's going to join them.
I could burn a 5th level scrying spell.
And see what's going on.
Yeah.
You've had a long rest, haven't you?
Yeah.
Then we'd have a more informed decision. Yeah, that's quite...
It's the only way forward.
well, no, I mean, the other
Is
we
it
could
the
just,
only way forward?
We could
We
It's
just
have
the only
to
way forward.
wait.
It's in your vision as well.
you know,
It is
in
in my
your-
vision.
it was
but
in your
the
vision.
sinkhole wasn't. The river was.
maybe this was your vision was to come and say goodbye to your friends, you know,
Yes, maybe that's what it was.
on their passing into the other life.
While you're doing this scrying spell, I will go around these walls and also this inclined plane just by the whirlpool,
Clambering.
and I will clamber and I can walk across the water bits and then stop and hover, and I will have a search.
Can you walk around on the top of waterfalls? No, surely not.
Yeah. So the text is hold on.
Here we
Should we do it, or should I do a burn a 5th level spell?
Oh, I would do it, burn a 5th level spell.
But they haven't. They don't know that I'm casting the spell,
Yeah.
so they get a saving throw.
It just says you can move along vertical surfaces and across liquids on your turn without falling during the move.
I imagine it's like a conveyor belt.
Yeah, so exactly.
It's
So you
Crouching
can move-
Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you know.
Peter Crouch's Hidden Tiger. As Dan says, it's like the travelator at the airport.
Yeah.
You're not fixed in space like an immovable rod. I think that you're on the surface of the water, but the surface of the water is moving, is really where I'm trying to get to with this.
My guess was I would be able to sort of walk round the wall.
Yes, you can walk round, but
and
as
then
you get
to the incline thing, then make a roll.
Exactly. Start doing complicated stuff, you're going to need to make a roll. Start trying to follow the water down the sinkhole. You obviously have a huge advantage with your monkish powers, but there would be a risk that you would get basically swept off.
What I want to do first is go and investigate the incline plane to see if there's any...
Yeah, it's boring.
It's boring. Okay.
There's nothing obvious there in terms of, I don't know, concealed entrances or
Yeah, that was
anything like that.
what I
And it
was
looks
thinking.
natural, it doesn't look manufactured.
Okay. So what does your scrying tell us then?
Well, I'm going to do a scrying on Alessandra. So Alessandra gets a DC 20 Wisdom save.
Wow.
Really?
If
On
she's
a-
still alive.
Well, because I know the target well.
Well, you keep talking about how you don't really know what she's like.
13.
Okay,
So
so
use your raw
a,
dice.
a sensor appears and I can see and hear the target.
Well, let's pick up with Alessandra and Buggy, and then we'll pick up with the point at which you cast the spell, which is a few seconds after they pitch off into the nothingness, right? I have nothing but bad news for you, Dan. There is no map for this next section of the adventure. This is all going to be done. Theatre of the mind.
You couldn't be bothered.
Alessandra and Buggy, you drop. The force of the water is extraordinary and difficult to resist. Are you trying to have a controlled descent, or are you literally going, sod it, let's just drop and see what happens?
I think that'll be decided by what it's like to be in it. If it's kind of like, if there's nothing I can do about it, there's nothing I can do about it. If it's quite gentle and easy, then I'll try and control it.
Think the Goonies or something, right? You're going to be, or a water park slide or something like that. I mean, but if anything, bigger and more thunderous and less controllable. You're going to be dropping into something which is just like, and off you go.
It's a bit like,
But because you can fly, you could theoretically sort of, I don't know.
it's like controlling things after the morning after a pretty serious curry.
Again, this is something that only you can really talk
Yeah,
about
but
with any
I
authority.
get what you're talking about. It's like, there's only so much control you can have.
Okay, well, egg. I'll cut
Egg.
it short in that case.
Well, egg.
I don't know why I said the word egg. Just you know.
Well, egg.
Egg.
Mouse.
You're just what?
Mouse. You said egg, I
You're
said
just-
mouse.
Yeah, don't be wordist.
Yeah. Jesus.
You're swept by the current, and immediately the sinkhole narrows to a sort of choke point at which you'll find yourself kind of bouncing off the walls as you fall.
Yeah. I mean, remember
You
that
can
buggy's
make-
going before me.
You can pick athletics or acrobatics, but you can make a check to see whether or not you can mitigate the buffeting effect.
I'll make an athletics check.
If you would like to mitigate the buffeting effect, now is the time to mitigate that effect.
I want to get that. Oh dear, with a 13.
You want to use your Ort dice?
I think I will actually use my old dice. So
Buggy?
that is also. That gives me an
Yep,
18.
Okay. Any bonuses? Strength stroke athletics.
Is that, yeah, strength
so
athletics.
plus
Yeah.
7 is my best.
Wow, off you go.
Okay, I think that's right. Yeah.
Get ready for the one.
Yeah, can I just roll a few times?
No.
22.
Okay, you both take half of the following damage. Half of 21, so you take 10 points of falling damage effectively as you're bounced like ping,
Ouch,
ah,
ouch.
ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, down this cataract through what we're now going to refer to from this point onwards as the first narrows. Somebody remember that.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So clues in the name as well about what's to come.
More narrows?
Suddenly you're in falling through open space. You're in the waterfall still.
Mm-hmm.
You fall for a few seconds. It must be a couple of 100 feet, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You get an instant where you think with some very careful flying and some exertion in exactly the right way, you might free yourself from the flow
Yeah.
sufficiently. Without flying, of course, you're still going to be falling.
I get a 20.
You push yourself out of the flow. Your dark vision reveals to you that you're in effectively a vertical shaft, that the flow of water is now running down one side of,
Mhm.
right? But there's plenty of space for you to fall through. You can see it plunge into a lake. I'm saying that it took you 50 feet to make your escape. There's another 50-foot drop into
Mhm.
this lake, a lake of red water. You can tell from where you're floating, or are you continuing?
No, we're going to
continuing
be
to descend?
flying, aren't we? We're going to be flying.
Okay, so you're
probably.
flying 50 foot up.
Yeah.
You can tell that the lake itself must be brimming over and falling further elsewhere,
Mhm.
further down, but you can't see it. Not just can't see it because it's dark, but can't see it because it's obscured from you by the water flow and the narrowness of the aperture that you've been falling down.
Okay.
This is the point at which, Dan, you can see Alessandra. Your view of her is that she's flying on her wings of flying. Buggy is clinging onto her ankles like a rabid weasel.
Ferret.
She's in a shaft that's about 25 to 30 feet wide and about 100 feet deep, and down one side of the shaft, water is cascading, roaring past her.
Right.
Below her, there seems to be some kind of lake that this water is crashing into.
Great.
I'll
There you
switch
go.
off my flame tongue because it will ruin Paul's dark vision.
And potentially set fire to Paul's wings, which is...
Yes, and I'm also holding onto his ankles, so can't actually hold the
Oh,
sword.
yes.
Side benefit.
So the whole thing has been completely...
Yeah.
Let's go back then to Packer. Sessions.
Do it, do it, do it.
You know a little bit now about what's going on.
Do we want to go down?
Well, do we know why we're
Okay.
going down, apart from it's a hole to jump into?
Well, it seems to be the only way forward, doesn't it, really?
Now that Burple has seen all this, and given his previous vision, does he have any other sense of why he needs to do this?
No. Are you eating Werther's originals, Lucas?
No, I'm eating nuts and raisins.
What's the ratio of nuts to raisins? think.
Not good actually in this one. It's just a little bit too much on the nut side than it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
prefer
come back
a
on
high
that bit.
nut to raisin ratio, actually.
Anyway,
How are you feeling about your nuts?
salty.
I find too
Depends
high
on
raisin
stance.
ratio quite uncomfortable.
Nobody needs too many raisins.
Not around your
uncomfortable.
nuts.
Nothing more uncomfortable than a high level of dried grape.
Right, on that note, shall we go down?
I guess we now know a safe route, don't we? We can drop through the hole and then fly down the other side.
You think that you need to make some kind of rolls to avoid as much damage as possible through the nasty bit. That said,
there-
you don't know about that. You don't know about that, so that would be metagaming.
Yeah, but we could dimension door down there.
And what do we not like?
Are there any?
Well, we could dimension door.
I mean, also we could just continue watching. see
You
what
could
they
watch
do.
for a bit, see what happens. We can always go
Yeah.
in later
Yeah,
if they need us.
no rush.
Anything from Parker?
No.
Otherwise, I'll pick things back up with Buggy
No,
and
I'll
Alessandra.
stick with the guys.
Okay.
Oh, we'll
Buggy
fold
and
out the
You two
deck
could come
chair
over
and
to me a bit.
I'll
and
say,
we can-
Parker, quick! They've got loads of treasure. You better go down there really quickly. Stop them getting it all.
I'll move us round so we have a better, closer in case we
Get some seats.
do something.
I'll pull out the
Yeah.
deck chairs and I'll erect a
Those
screen.
seats with the little cup holders in.
Yeah, got one in my bag of holding.
Do you want to join me here, Burple?
Yes, I'm on your broom, so yes, I do.
Yeah.
Are you getting deck chairs out on the broom?
Yeah,
So the
well,
obvious-
we're getting the piece of cheese out.
Is this like a cup that's on one side's got a wall, on the other side the water's flying over? Like an infinity pool?
Except that you can't see the infinity bit of it.
Yeah.
You're just looking down a tube, water is flowing down one side of the tube,
Yeah.
and you can see the water spilling out and spreading in such a pattern that makes you feel that the tube opens into a wider space and then cascading into the surface of a lake.
And if we were to unresist the way of the water, it would take us over the edge.
No, it would take you down into the lake.
Take us down into the lake. Okay.
Are we sure we need to be in the lake?
Gonna take a fly around and see what's over the edge. Is
Well,
there
you
an
could
edge?
fly down the tube,
Yeah.
yes.
I thought we'd
You've
got out
got
of the tube.
rock wall all around you apart from on one side where you have a torrent of blood red water. At the bottom of the tube, that's formed by rock on all sides apart from the waterfall,
Yeah.
there is a flat surface of water. Well, not flat, turbulent surface of water. You can't see past anything.
Okay.
You could potentially drop under the surface of the water. You could try and fly through the waterfall to see if there's something behind it.
Yeah, I think that's first. I'm going to try and see if there's anything behind the waterfall.
Do you need a heel?
Put my hand through the waterfall, see if there's anything behind it.
By waterfall, I mean, I'm not talking about the water gently plays over your hand as you reach into it. I'm talking about a cascading
Niagara.
torrent that would, well, not Niagara, but I mean,
Viagra.
like Viagra. Yeah,
I
we're
mean, I
talking
could-
about
Stick Buggy into it and see if he.
if you stuck Buggy into the waterfall and let go, it would just be, you'd just be gone in an instant.
I won't do
You'd
that.
probably never see him again.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
It's
tempting.
like every cloud. But the we're talking about something of that sufficient. You can barely hear each other speak over the roar of the torrent of this
At
water.
least I'm getting a bit of a wash.
Yeah.
It's probably
The
the
first
first
wash for
one
forever.
for a while.
So yes, you could find out what was through the waterfall, but you think you need to exercise some quite serious flight control not to be just dashed away by this waterfall as you try to pass through it.
Can I just get my rapier? Have I got a rapier?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
just trying to see if there's anything behind the waterfall, but poking through. Is there a wall on the other side?
Oh no, it reaches, I mean, to the point where your hand is almost in the water and it's not yet hit anything.
There's no point trying to go in.
If you cast your mind back, because this river dropped into the sinkhole, something like 25 feet
Yeah.
width of water.
There's no point trying to get through this stuff because we won't be able to control it. So we might as well just go down into the lake. That's what we're going to do. We're going to drop down into the lake.
Okay, as you drop down, give me a perception check.
Getting a 16.
The closer you get to the lake,
18.
Mm-hmm.
the tone of the roar of the water changes as you get past a certain point on your way down.
Mm-hmm.
You're fairly confident that you're now in a broader space with a curtain of waterfall separating you off probably from something larger behind it.
Right.
And then the surface of the lake is below you.
Okay.
You want to keep going down?
Yep.
The surface of the water is turbulent. You're going to immerse Buggy?
Yep, we're just going to hold breath, go down. I want to follow the natural course.
Well, you were right about the infinity pool. You drop below the surface of the water. You're in an underground lake, the surface of which is contiguous with a rock shelf, as in there is nowhere to put your head up above the surface of the water.
Yep.
The other half of the lake, the half of the lake that the waterfall is plunging into, as you sort of start navigating around, you realise there is an edge to this curtain of water that's cascading down. The lake shallows out, and there is a larger cavern behind the waterfall. The lake continues into that cavern and then tips over the edge in an infinity pool style, just as you expected.
Yeah.
You can hear that water flow over the edge. It's a gentler thing because it's a much wider apron of escarpment, if you like, that the water is flowing over.
Yeah.
But then you can hear it pick up volume past and over the edge. So you suspect that it then reconstricts and then reinforces the flow. Second thing is, from above you and ahead of you, dropping from a void in the ceiling of this larger space, two figures appear.
Hey.
They're flying.
Excellent.
Oh,
You've not seen anything like them before.
Yeah.
They could almost just be suits of armour that are animated.
This sounds familiar.
Maybe ceramic armour, certainly some strange material, something that you don't immediately recognise. They have got twin longswords, one in each hand. They look very like the sculpted figures on either side of the double doors that led to the carpet room before you found Hesty.
Yeah.
You've seen the design elsewhere in the rooms above. They drop down towards you, and as they do so, they sheathe the two longswords, and they pull glowing, stylized crossbows off their back. And let us roll for initiative.
Oh, well, okay then. This is going to be a very interesting thing to happen. Oh, God. I get a 6.
Oh, hello, big number. Okay, Buggy, what'd you get?
6.
Alessandra, what'd you get? 6?
I got a 6, yeah.
Burple got 23.
Burple, you're aware. We'll leave the others for the moment, right?
Okie dokie.
Burple.
Is there any land?
No, but the water seems very shallow before it tips over the edge, and the flow seems relatively gentle. You think it would be possible to stand in the water there? Maybe not Buggy, but you think you'd be able to stand in it, Burple. It'd be up to your knees at least.
Okay. But there's no land, there's no edge.
Not that isn't got water all over it.
Right, okay. What sort of scale are we talking? Could I dimension door to, say, 20 feet away from Buggy and Alessandra?
You think that they're less than 500 feet away from you. So, yeah. I mean, I think all you need to do is say where you want to go.
Because this is Theatre of the Minor, because I don't have a map, I'm trying to
There is no
ascertain the scale.
That should tell us something.
Yeah.
You think there's about 25 foot of shallow pool, maybe more, between the bottom of the waterfall and where it tips over. So a solid, in your parts, 5 to 6 squares of standable floor plan, were we to be using a floor plan, that you could dimension door to, and you would be standing somewhere around knee deep in water near Buggy and Alessandra.
Is there somewhere 20 feet away from them? I'm just thinking if these crossbows turn out to be fireballs,
Yes, you could be at least 20 feet away from them, of course.
then I will do that. I will say they're being attacked, or hostiles, I will say to Parker, and say, drop down, we'll meet you down there.
Okay, and you're taking Sessions with you.
Yes.
Sessions, roll initiative.
I'm going to take damage though, right?
We'll get to
21.
that. You might be a bit of a special case, Parker. 21. First of all, roll initiative, now that you're aware and you've got something to be doing.
Right. 9.
Purple, you appear standing, floating. I mean, you've got Sessions' broom. Do you want to be sort of floating just above the surface of the water? What do you want to be doing?
not?
So you and Sessions appear floating above the surface of the water, about just over 20 feet away from Buggy and Alessandra, similarly floating above the surface of the water, also floating, but higher up above you and sort of in front of you are these two figures, and they fire their crossbows at you. First one is going to pick Alessandra.
But of course.
Sessions, Burple, you've seen these people before.
Have we?
Yes.
In the original
The
Whispering
original.
Cairn.
Yes.
Yeah. When you headed up to the true tomb of Zosiel, you fought a battle against these animated suit of armor guardian things. It's them again.
Right.
Same thing.
So I was confused by you saying that you hadn't seen them before, but you were referring to specifically Alessandra
and Buggy,
Yeah.
who haven't
I
seen them before.
understand.
Yeah. So attacking with the crossbows. Misses. And a 17 is going to be a miss, right, Alessandra?
No, it just hits.
Oh, does it?
Mm.
You take 7 points of piercing damage. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I forgot my d4 roll it again. Getting a 3, which is Burple, and Burple rolling, hitting armor class 23.
Is a miss?
And
not really.
Oh,
Not really. No.
well, I mean, I take everything,
23.
and 23 and 21.
Both hit.
Okay, so piercing damage, you take 11 from the first one and 6 from the second one.
Lovely. Thanks.
I think we've missed something.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
No map.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a bit difficult with that map.
I have a pretty good idea where we've missed it as well.
Why? What do you think?
up in those dead end bits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
What you missed? What?
The right way through.
Ah,
Feels like we're in the bottom end of a trap.
yep. And when Mike says he doesn't know if we're going to get out of this alive, this is probably what he means. Although,
We're just here to rescue you, as usual. Get
although
you out of trouble.
We've actually jumped
Metagaming-
into the bit that we were about to be flushed into.
metagaming, when we originally went through this same thing in the cairn, these same things were guarding an upward wind blast, which took
Yeah,
us
they
to
were.
something very good. This is a downward water blast, which might take us to something very good.
Yes,
I don't
that's
know.
good. They were guarding
I'm kind of
the
with
tomb,
Graham. It
weren't
feels
they?
like
I think it feels like
whichever way you
we've
go,
jumped into the
could have-
bit.
yeah.
What's the point of a trap that pushes you to the place you want to go? Strikes me.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem very logical. I mean, maybe it's a mechanism to make sure you end up there, but it feels
Yes,
to me
that's
that
Might
we
be a-
kind of
yeah.
jumped
But
into
those-
the bottom of the trap that we weren't supposed to get to.
That armour was protecting the true tomb of whatever,
Yes.
isn't it? So they might be protecting another tomb with another piece of artifact.
Anyhow,
no,
some of
it's
us will get out alive.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Possibly not everyone.
See how it goes.
I've still got a dimension door.
So have I. That's why I say some of us will get out alive.
I'm staying on your broom. Could do a wall of force.
I was thinking of doing a sleet storm on them.
It's all Paul's fault.
Tis
Oh.
all.
Piss off.
Well, it is.
It's not my fault. You didn't have.
Yeah.
You made your own decision to follow.
Only when you were about to get attacked did we come to
This
rescue
is the
you,
right
as
way.
usual.
This
Had
is
to
the
get
right
you out
way.
of trouble.
We're quite happy to go and let you sort
Yeah,
it out.
shall
We
we,
can come back again later.
Yeah,
if
just
need
should we
be.
leave you to it?
You can go, but the magic and reward that comes at the other end.
Yes, we'll
It's
keep
shared.
that. No, not if you don't come with us.
all the magic's shared, of course it is.
We don't want to get into an economy where we have to start charging for healing, do we?
No.
Maybe we
Right.
do.
Because it's sunk to this.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Yes, it has.
The other thing I find, frankly, a little depressing is
The lack of
these
magic.
poor people. They try and write these adventures, right? They're trying to tease out of you different styles of play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End the metagaming, all of that kind of stuff, all the tactical square pushing, all of that business.
Rubbish.
And I'm like, there is no map here. And the reaction from Graham was, that tells us something.
How can you have a combat when there's no map?
Where were we? Oh, yeah, sessions. What do you want to do?
Can I see everyone?
It's pitch black. Have you got a light spell? No.
Okay, I'm going to start by casting a light spell. Bloody hell.
Okay, the only things you can really make out of these two figures because they glow slightly, but you know,
Well,
Have you only got normal vision?
it's only got normal vision.
I've only got normally vision.
Sake.
Little
Normally
legs
vision.
and normally
Sorry.
vision.
Useless.
How far away are they? Glowing things.
Oh, I mean within spell range, unless you're casting something with a very short range.
What, you mean within 60 feet?
This is why
Oh, yeah,
this
there
is
was
why
a-
you use a map, Mike, so that we can basically work out how far away they are, position ourselves. That's why you use a map, floor plan.
Just to calm you down a little bit, there is no map.
Well, you make one.
Oh, I just can't be bothered. I don't care about it enough.
Just a big red square.
I knew that you would grizzle about it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because I'm a baby.
Just all the way, like a kid being taken off on some sort of shopping trip that it really doesn't want to go on.
Did you
Going
all
on
the way there in the
holiday
back of the
with my
car,
parents.
You hear
all
Mike
the
at
way
the
back.
beginning saying he was underprepared.
And
Oh, yeah.
I thought I could invest an hour's time in building battle maps for this complex series of caverns with lots of different dips and inclines
But
and
you can be asked.
changes.
I'm
which
going-
we end up going
It'd take
through
me
in
ages
one
to
go.
do, or I could just have bloody well Dan just being going.
Well, I wouldn't if you spent if you put a little effort in. Do you know what I mean? It's not too much to ask, is it?
It did turn out to be exactly too much to ask. wasn't it? Right, on we go.
Crushing
Yes,
coin.
you think they're within range of your
I'm going to
crushing
send
coin?
the crushing coin flying at them. That's bonus action.
Fine, do it. Make a roll.
Since armor class 19.
Is we're not using clumsy stats like armor class in this combat, but it is a hit.
Excellent. For 11 points
This is
of
the new hand waving
radiant
mic.
damage. No, force
Radiant.
damage. Force
Radiant.
damage. So force.
Forced. We were all kicked off on our radiant noises.
Okay. Well, because
Okay,
that was a
well,
that was a bonus action, I can cast a cantrip. Yes, I'll cast tumbling dice on it. Wisdom 16.
No, fails saving throw.
Oh, excellent. So it's a wounded.
Combien de dommage, combien de
So I take
I've been listening to Exile on Main Street.
18 points of radiant damage, sir. Radiant.
It looks really pretty seriously beaten up by your attack successions. And we move on upstairs, completely oblivious to all of this. Parker.
Well, I've dropped down the chute of the whirlpool.
Okay, give me an athletics check at advantage. I've got a DC in mind. If you make it, you restrict the amount of damage you take.
Plus 4 to...
You made it. You take half of the following as you're buffeted down through this set of narrows.
Mm-hmm.
You take 10 points of damage. 10 points of damage.
Okay.
You come bouncing through these... and then out, falling, you can see the slick rock walls speed past you. You've got the waterfall on one side of you as you sort of emerge from it. Crash into a lake.
Yeah.
Parker, as you break the surface of the water, something very, very odd happens. Let me tell you about something firstly. It's just sort of standard odd.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll tell you about something else that's much more odd. The standard odd thing is that as you plummet through the surface of the water, leaving that kind of trail as you go, right?
Yeah.
Sort of pink-white trail of bubbles as you drop. You get to see the bottom of this lake.
Uh-huh.
The bottom is coated with these fist-sized white crabs that basically spread from the point that you're pushing the flow towards. They scuttle away from you.
Ooh.
The whole
Have
pool
they got
is
nasty
infested with these
pincers?
things. They've got pincers, you don't know how nasty. It's more a volume thing, it's more a sheer numbers, swarmy thing, you think.
Ooh,
Bit weird, not very nice. Second thing, an awful lot weirder. The pool looked perfectly normal as you were... Well, I say perfectly normal. It's a blood-red pool of weird liquid and the chasms underneath a strange interdimensional tomb complex. But apart from that, it looked completely normal. The moment you break the surface, it feels like you're in two pools at once, Parker. There's one pool that feels to be the physical pool that you've fallen into. There's another pool that feels like it's a pool that's being, as it were, superimposed, augmented reality style, if you like, over the pool that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a psychic shock has run through you. You see two pools at once. They're both red, but the weird superimposed pool has got this strange tree stretching out of it, like a kind of weird black plant, a multi-bowed plant with a twisted trunk and dark branches that are swaying in a wind that doesn't exist.
What, sort of like right in the middle?
Right in the middle, right where you are, like it's going out from the base of the lake and spreading its boughs up into the cave. Below you, the moment that you understand that this weird tree thing is growing out of the lake, at the base of the lake you can sense that there are glowing red crystals, and you feel in the back of your mind that the acquisition of these crystals is extremely important. And as soon as that idea has flashed through your mind, the plant has gone, the weird superimposed lake has gone, the concept of the crystals has gone, and you're just floating in this lake as you were expecting to.
Ooh, right.
What would you like to do next?
So, where I am now, how far away are the suits of armour?
Give me a perception check.
14.
It's good enough. Through the curtain of water, you think you can make out a couple of glowing figures or something, and you can hear the sound of movement, and you suspect the others. You probably have to swim down and through the waterfall to the other half of the lake that you know is there, and that's where they are.
Well, I'll do that then.
Uncle Buggy hanging like a rabid weasel from the ankles of Alessandra.
Right.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to do a guiding bolt. It's got a range of 120 feet.
Yeah, absolutely fine. Go for it.
So I will do it as a second level spell, I think. So add 6 to this. 24.
That's a hit.
5d6.
Wow.
That's 19 points of radiant damage
Radiance.
on the one that's wounded.
Yes, you blow it out of the sky. It just explodes in a shower of armor components, and the glow fades as the different bits of it hiss and steam into the surface of the water, just like blah, 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 blah. Bits clang over the edge, and you hear them just ping, pong, boom, ground down into the abyss. Alessandra on 6.
I've forgotten that. So I'm just going to get her longbow out and take a shot. I'm class 10, which is rubbish.
Plus 10 is a miss. Your arrow arcs into the air, misses this thing,
And
and you hear it
yeah.
ting off the stonework.
And then as my cunning action, I'm going to fly towards somewhere where Buggy can stand.
You could drop him right near the edge,
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you can do that. Buggy's up to his waist, which is about, I don't know, about 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
Buggy, you're right at the edge of this thing. You can feel the void in front of you as this water tumbles over the edge, and you can hear that as it must collect in a narrower point below you, the kind of roar again of the cataract.
No.
And we move on to top of round 2 on 23.
There's one of them left, right?
There's one of them left.
Yes.
Yes.
I will do Dissonant Whispers on it. Wisdom save DC 15.
I think we've established that this is not a fear effect and it's not a mind control effect, right?
It's not, it's psychic damage.
Let's roll the saving throw. It gets a 4. That I don't think is going to be enough.
It takes 20 points of damage.
It's rocked by your psychic damage and it flies away from you, back and up and away. It's now about 70 feet away.
Okay.
And then it turns and it flies back down, undaunted, and it looses an arrow at Purple. Rolling, hits armor class 20.
Yes.
And the second arrow hits armor class
Miss.
12, which is going to be a miss. You take a total of 7 points of piercing damage.
Yes.
Sessions on 21.
I jumped the crushing coin onto it,
Yep,
hitting armor class 15.
that's exactly what you need.
7 points of force damage.
Purple's spell has
Okay,
severely wounded it. Now you've just
that was
added
my
insult
bonus
to
action,
injury.
and for my action, I will
Added
use
injury to
the
injury,
tumbling dice on it. Wisdom.
And it gets another saving
DC
throw.
16.
It rolls a 1.
Excellent.
Do your worst.
So
You
it's
can,
Yeah.
This is doable.
Mm.
I think good roll, and
Oh,
this is
yes.
doable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yes. Oh,
it
it's
takes
oh,
17 points of
Bye.
17,
radiant.
22 to 42. It bursts apart in a shower of armor fragments that drop into the pool and drop over the
I think
abyss.
my
over
work
the
is
edge.
done here again.
Dear me, that's annoying, Graham.
Session just rubs his hands
Am I
together.
speaking for all of us? I think I am when we say that that's annoying.
Yes.
Smug
And
beyond belief.
Graham just is annoying.
It's
Well,
smug
no, it's not.
on the
it's just
level
given-
of Buckcroft.
No, exactly.
It's almost taking a leaf out of your book, Paul. I have to
Oh,
say.
no, stop
That
it.
Sort of.
He kills it,
Anyway,
and then he cracks
on
open a cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
We go.
Pulls out big slither of cheese and
And he starts to sausage. The dim illumination afforded by these floating suits of armour is gone. You're now all in the half of the pool that's bisected
Can
by
we
the
stand
waterfall.
up?
The closer you get to the edge, the easier it is to stand.
Mm.
It gently inclines up to the lip, at which point it all tips over.
Yeah.
Let me just get my reference material.
I'm going to
It's
cast
not
a
a map.
light spell.
It's reference
I think we
material.
need to go over the edge before these crabs come after us.
Continue flying.
Well,
First of all, the water tips over the edge of your infinity pool lip, Paul, as per your
Yes.
holiday brochure, into a space that opens out beneath you, and it seems to run down and then cascade and bounce off a sort of switchback of ledges and so forth. And then you get the sense that once it's tipped over that little narrow section, it then's got another longer fall, and you can hear the roar, and you can hear another splash like it's falling into another lake or basin or something.
Yeah.
Opposite you, though, on the other side of the drop, there is a shelf. You don't know that you could stand up in it. It looks natural. There are no features there, but just so that you know that it's there.
Okay. I'm going to fly.
You're getting the distinct sense that you're in the right place, Burple, or rather that you're doing the right thing, that following this flow is the right thing to do.
Right.
Okay.
You feel a bit weird that you're not in the water, but hey.
well, I will tell everybody else what I saw about the crabs and the weird tree with the diamonds, red
None of them
jewel
believe
things
you,
at the bottom of
Parker.
it.
I say to Bugroff, do you want to cling on again?
Yeah.
And I head over, descend downwards.
Okay, on you go.
On I go. Buggy, do you want to give me a hill?
It drops away into the dark.
I'll give you-
You drop 50 feet. Now you can see that the flow is hitting a shelf and then bouncing off out into the void and down through another narrow aperture that looks a bit more difficult to navigate. You want to keep going?
Yeah, Buggy's going
just
to give me...
heal Paul 1d8 plus 2.
Do you want me to roll it?
Dan, have you had any reason to cease your scrying spell?
I don't think so, no. It's a concentration.
Concentration, right? But you haven't. Yeah, and it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can continue to watch this.
Yep.
It's like a James Cameron movie or something, isn't it? So the Titanic exploration or whatever, you can kind of follow. You've got this little viewpoint as
Oh,
the
wait.
probe, as the little
wait,
submersible
hold on.
goes down.
Hicks, pan left. Go back.
Rizbowski.
Thank you, Buggy.
What is that?
It's joined by another tributary. at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And the flow actually increases. But I have good news. These two flows are pitching out into space over the edges of shells and then falling down the center of a shaft that you could navigate your way around. It doesn't fill the aperture.
Yeah.
You do have to cross through the flow, but I don't think I'm going to make a roll for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you emerge into another cavern. It's pretty much an echo of the cavern you've left. That last one we're calling the Red Lake. This
Yeah.
one we're calling the Basin.
Yeah.
It's a sort of retort-shaped cavern,
Yeah.
which is filling with water from the waterfall, and then that is in turn tipping over an infinity lip and down into yet another set of narrows.
Yeah.
You want to keep following it?
Yep.
You follow the narrows. Now things are getting a little easier. The sinkhole is widening. You're no longer got such a throat-tight tunnel that the water is flowing down.
Yeah.
And instead, it's spreading over a broader apron of rock. You can follow it down. It gets narrower and tighter, but like you're going down a crevasse. So it's like a curtain of water that you're now flying silently down the face of, and the roar diminishes behind you as you leave that cascade and the basin above you. You reach a point where you can hear the roar build back up again. It's almost like the crevasse bottoms out and then turns up to form almost a U shape, but then there's a space in the bottom that the water is tumbling through. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think so.
As you drop down towards that point, the water all collects at the base of this U shape and then spins and spirals down into some kind of aperture beneath you. Burple. As you turn your viewpoint around and you're following Alessandra through the dark, where Alessandra sees a flat rock wall, you see, outlined in a faint blue radiance, a door or some kind of portal or entrance.
Okay.
Alessandra doesn't seem to be reacting to it.
So we need to head down there and can we shout?
Only him or any of the... I mean, can we see it?
No, I'm
You're miles ahead.
Oh,
I mean, you
right.
think they've dropped 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. They're about 600 or 700 feet below you now.
Right, okay. That's a long way.
And you are, in turn, a solid 300 feet below where the original waterfall pitched over. So they're
Right.
1,000 feet down now, spelunking to the max.
Well, should we follow them down?
Got any dimension doors left?
Yes.
What's the range?
500 feet.
Poor old fucking Parker.
And why don't we just go at a normal
Every
speed?
time he catches up with you, it's like,
Yeah.
bye!
That's what I'm wondering. Why don't we just go at
Fly
normal
down
speed?
after them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can fly down after them.
I mean,
Let's
I'm-
roll this forward.
Yeah.
It's not complicated particularly. Parker, I mean, there is another set of narrows.
Every
But let's
10
not.
foot, he needs to make a roll.
For Parker, in his ability to navigate surfaces, I can't
Yeah.
see that it's anything is as difficult as that first challenge. And really, I think that he knows what he's about to encounter.
And I don't need to go down the water either.
Well, not every
I mean, I can go
15
down
foot.
the walls of the side.
The sweepstake can fly down with Burple and Sessions.
I will also cast Longstrider, add 10 feet to my speed, 150 feet around.
That's faster than me.
Yep. How fast can you fly Sessions and Burple?
60 feet around, I think.
So I'm actually faster than they are.
Oh, 50. Sorry, 50 feet. It's 100 feet.
The idea that Parker is faster than them flying, I think that's fabulous. He's like, come on.
You're flying down about 100 feet around. Parker just shoots past you, just like running down the
Because we're
wall.
eating our cheese as we go.
Yeah,
He's careering down. We're going sedately in business
Yeah.
class.
you need a sort of little hat with a whirlicopter on the top.
Yeah. I think we can imagine that into our story, can't we?
That's brilliant.
I think I'm going to say that the speed that you move and the naturally cautious speed that Alessandra and Buggy are going at, I'm going to say that's fine. You're able to arrest their descent, and you can assemble at this door that only Burple can see.
Can I do anything with the door? Can I interact with it?
It's a very good question. Yeah, basically it's just a secret door. You think that actually it's findable by a normal mortal,
Yeah.
but that you, for some reason, can see its outline.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just push it open.
Okay, I'll push it open.
There's a passage. It leads up and away from you, deeper into the rock face. You can immediately tell, Burple, as you swing the door open, that this has been made. This is not natural, even though it's been hewn out of the natural rock. The ceiling is 12 to 15 feet
Does
high above
wind
you.
rush in or out?
I would say neither particularly. The air may be a little bit stale. You have to sort of scramble a little, up about 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet. Who's going? Who's travelling? Who's exploring? Is it just Burple? Is it anybody else?
Oh, I'm going with.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely.
Should we head that way then?
Yeah, I think we should all go that way.
You're going mob-handed. The whole crew, yeah? Told
Yeah.
that.
Charmaine.
You scramble up this passage. After about 25, 30 feet, you realise that becoming more sharply defined with every step, the floor has been carved into steps. As you step onto that bottom step, Burple, suddenly, from your breastbone, tracing away from you, up the slope and up, following this staircase into the dark, a glistening,
Blue.
misty blue
Line.
skein of light.
Yeah.
Let's put you on another map.
Finally.
Back to life.
Back to map.
reality.
Back to reality.
Just double check something
Mike's
first.
done some preparation.
What, has he? It's probably just going to be really
Right
shit line drawing. You're in a corridor. It's like 2 vertical lines.
Yeah, it's 4.5 foot wide.
You beg me to go back to the theatre of the mind. It's so much better in there. And the popcorn's nicer.
Please make
Let's
it
have a look
stop.
at that.
I see something.
It's almost as if we were meant to be here, isn't it?
Yes, it's almost as if the whole thing is written in advance.
Yeah. There's no free will in this at all.
Do you want to keep clambering up
I think
the staircase?
Alessandra's going to take the lead.
Do the probe one.
Probe one.
Oh, we missed you, Paul, with your deadpan, bothered reactions to all dungeon descriptions when you weren't here.
Really?
We realised that all that happens is I describe these things that you discover, and you go, okay, fine. And then you see like a ribbon of light flowing through the throat of this giant dragon as it flies towards you. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, alright.
Dragon, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Dragon, okay, yeah.
Dragon giant. Whatever.
Talk to me, Sandy.
Alessandra's going to... Yeah.
She's going to, yeah. You're
Yeah,
doing it already.
Just gonna...
You're not even waiting for me to explain what you see. It's
yeah,
okay.
whatever. She's just going to kind of make her way through the rest of the party. Just nudge them out of the way. Roll her eyes.
Coming through.
Coming
Pick
through.
back up again.
Road
And
to the
then-
front.
And then, as always, as I predicted, the map doesn't align to the actual corridor. So, yeah, she's just going to prod. And she's actually flying, so she's not going to be standing on the floor.
This is what we meant, by the way, when we were talking about the smug thing earlier, Paul. But yeah, carry on. Yeah.
Do you want me to make any checks?
Oh,
Shall
you can be
I
asked.
do a... Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm rolling a stealth check. Oh my god, and I'm getting a 13. It's just awful. 14.
You start working your way up this staircase. It carries on. You want to keep going? You want to move your mini
I'll move my
to
minute.
show me how far you
Wait a
push
minute.
on?
Let me just try and rectify things. Oh my god, look, I'm moving up a staircase. How exciting. And I'll keep going up.
Yeah, again, that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
And yeah, what can I see?
It opens out.
That's
It
interesting.
opens out into a chamber, which I shall reveal to you now. And a moment, players, ladies and gentlemen.
Your call is important to us.
It's a cave, but it's been partially finished by stoneworkers.
Of course it's a cave.
Massive, 50-foot tall, dull black doors to your north, carved with both gigantic and tiny runes, some at eye level, others much larger. The metal of the doors seems pristine and freshly forged.
Ooh.
They look like they're made of stone, these doors, but encased in like adamantine plates or some kind of framework.
Yep.
Give me a straight intelligence check. Anybody else following Alessandra up?
Oh.
Are you shouting about what you can see?
I'll come up.
Yeah, I'll follow up.
Straight intelligence
follow
is not
Parker. Yeah,
really
flying, of
my
course.
strong point.
Is there somewhere we can put that key
That'll be a
thing that we got?
grand 9.
The Quality Street thing.
The crystal seal.
Yes.
There's no obvious sort of aperture or shelf or space that seems to be designed for it. No. How did you get on with your
Not very well. I got a 9.
Okay. You think that these runes are in Farty, the language of the Wind Dukes,
Yeah, but I can't do
but
anything about
you
it.
can't. No, you've got no idea.
No, that's normally the case. both as a player and as a character.
Will Burp will be able to read them, will he? Now he's gone scaly.
Ooh.
You're not sure about that.
Oh, good memory.
I'm not scaly. What do you mean?
What alignment are you, Alessandra, or do we want to talk about that in the broom cupboard?
We can talk about that in the broom cupboard.
Okay, we're going to the broom cupboard, are we?
Yeah, off to the broom cupboard, one and all.
Okay, let's all go to the broom cupboard.
Let's go into the broom cupboard and Paul can tell us about Alessandra's alignment.
I'm going to switch.
See you all in there.
Yeah, see you in a sec.
Right.
So is Paul dodgy or something?
I'm just trying to find it.
What do you mean he's Paul Dodgy? Have you met him?
Is that why he's going into the broom cupboard to talk about his alignment?
Yeah, because he's dodgy. He's always been dodgy.
Do we trust him?
There's a backstory there that's still got to
I
do.
don't think we entirely trust Alessandra, do we?
God no.
Alessandra's tainted by the other one.
Turns out Paul didn't know where to find his alignment, but there we go. Right, so
I could take Grimbold out of the bag of holding if you want the probe.
Doesn't he smell?
No more than Buggy.
I'm saying it's about 9 in the morning on Thursday, the 4th of Fart.
So we've got
9
another.
in the morning.
Peer into the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Is
The bag of
Grimbold-
beholding.
Is
bag of beholding.
Grimbold still got this crown of madness on him?
No, he hasn't.
And so he's acting normally.
I mean, he's a zombie, but yes.
Okay, I'll
Let's be precise.
bring him forward
He's
out
acting
of
the
the bag
same
of
as he
holding.
was.
Yes.
And he can move forward into the room. I say go forward to the door.
Why?
He goes, and he stomps forward towards the doors.
Yeah,
Gets right up towards them, standing there looking up at them.
yeah.
He goes, nothing's happening.
Does he not just walk straight into the door?
No.
He's just standing there looking at the doors. Do you want him to, tell me what you want him to...
Are there any
Do.
knobs or dials or handles?
No knobs or dials
Latch
or
handles.
handles. No, there's no Tony latch handle. Ding, 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 ding. There's nothing.
I say walk up and down the
I think not even
alongside,
people of a
parallel to
certain
the
age
doors.
would get that reference.
No, I don't think. I
It's the
think
most
that,
obscure.
this is the reassuring thing about the fact that we know through the metrics that we get from our podcast host platform that nobody's listening to this. And that means that we could be free. We literally are just talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Right, back to Grimbold. What are you doing, Grimby Bimby?
He is walking up and down parallel to the doors, just basically looking for pit traps or triggering pit traps. And as he's doing that, the Crossroads theme tune is playing.
Star Trek thing, but fine.
You didn't even recognise it.
It wasn't the Star Trek tune.
Okay, no pit traps. Okay, back to the back Grimbold, back to the bag of holding.
Okay. Back into the bag of holding. That was a good little
Back
cameo.
Grimdold. Back to the bag of holding. You should be an actor, honestly.
You should
The
be an actor.
delivery.
Is there something in my eye? I don't know. On we go. Anybody else want to do anything? Anybody else want to look at these doors?
It's clear.
Yeah, I'll look at the
It's clear,
doors.
man.
Do you want to give me an Arcana check or an Intelligence
A
check
what?
or a Religion check?
You
or
want me to do a
something?
what?
You what?
You what? Bush. Arcana check.
Aha.
12.
That's not so bad.
16.
Reluctantly, I might have to say that that's kind of enough.
An earth is an earth.
You think you've got a sense of what the runes say, Purple?
Yeah, I knew that.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, what do they say?
But basically, dare not enter the tomb of Icosiol, Lord of Aqua, Wandering Duke, and Bearer of the Rod of Law. That's what you think the runes say.
Oh, the Rod of Law. It's probably not here, though, is it? It's just referring to him as the bearer of the rod. Well, that's what I
That's
reckon,
a good
guys.
question. Hesty seemed to think that stuff was buried with the great
Yeah, yeah.
and good of the... Yeah,
Yeah.
so you never know.
Yeah.
Can I?
But who's going to hand out that
I must
right
be
now?
descended.
There's something going on because you don't really know how you knew what that script said,
Oh,
Purple.
right.
I'm going to go and do a fingertip search of these doors.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Come on. Can I have a decent roll? Yes, a 21.
Okay, there's a couple of things I can tell you about these doors. The first is that there doesn't seem to be any kind of concealed mechanism or hairline cracks or anything like that.
Yep.
But They seem to be sealed or locked, and your sense is that there is something magical going on there that is beyond your mechanical rogue powers to negotiate.
Right.
What did we get from Hesty? What did he give us? He gave us something.
This seal thing.
Yes.
The seal of office. It's a crystal tablet. Do you want the description again?
Does it feel like it might fit anything here?
Buggy's already run a practiced eye over things, looking for an obvious receptacle for this object, and he's not seen one. Let me just describe to you this thing.
Just bring it close to the doors.
Well, who's bringing it close to the doors?
I'll bring it close to the doors.
It's a disc about a foot in diameter, made of crystal.
Mm-hmm.
One face is engraved with 3 runes in Farti that all of you have failed to make the requisite intelligence rolls to decipher. One of them you think, though, means Icosiol because you've seen it elsewhere. The other side depicts a Wind Duke holding the Seal of Law up before a pair of massive black doors while standing on a floating disc of air about the same size as the seal itself. That is on the actual object itself. You're wandering up to the doors.
Holding it above your head.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of replicate what it shows on the...
I get it.
Although I suspect alignment has something...
You feel a sense of weightlessness, Alessandro,
Oh, yes.
as you hold this Seal of Law aloft.
Mm-hmm.
Words start to manifest in your mind.
Kebab.
Yes.
Cheese.
Lawnmower.
Cuddly toy.
The first word is Aqua, which is the name of the Wind Duke Empire. The second word is Icosiol, the name of the Wind Duke General. And the third is the word Pesh, the name of the volcanic plain on which the Wind Dukes defeated the army of Chaos. What do you want to do?
Stay there.
Just stay there? That's it?
See if anything else
Nothing
happens. Nothing else happens?
Say those words aloud.
Okay, if...
So you're saying the words aloud.
Yes.
The moment that you speak those 3 words aloud, the doors swing soundlessly open, revealing a chamber.
And a big pile of magic.
Bonus points to Johnny.
Magic levels. Bonus points for me.
Yeah, because Johnny thought of the disc and all that stuff.
Yeah. Extra experience points for me.
No.
Didn't go that far. Just a bonus point.
Uh-oh.
Oh
That
no.
looks like trouble.
Stepping stones. Columns.
Windy
Describe what
ones.
you can see.
Yeah.
The chamber contains 7 stone columns, each slightly taller than the next, rising slowly from the entrance where you're standing to a small platform at the far end of the room before a second set of enormous doors.
Oh, bugger.
No floor is visible. In its place is a pit filled at a depth of 80 feet, so 80 feet down from where you are, there is a layer or a surface of glowing blue fog. Swirling patterns of wind and lightning dance and howl along the walls and ceiling of the chamber, filling the room with a tumultuous roar.
Marvellous.
Job for a rogue, I think.
Each of the 7 columns appears slightly different. The closest column's top is level with the ground in the entrance room where you're standing. The next column is 2 foot higher. The third rises up to the ceiling, 40 feet above. The fourth is 3 feet higher than the second one, but rotates slowly
God,
in
it's
place
crystal
as it
maze.
stands. The fifth column's upper surface seems to be covered with a thick layer of what looks like tar and is about 1 foot higher than the last. The 6th column is 2 feet higher than the previous
Which
one.
one's
I'm
the
lost
5th
too,
one?
but is made of a lighter coloured stone, and the larger column, nearly twice the diameter of the others, stands to the left of the main row. We're looking at a map, readers, that shows us that, and frankly, the map and that description, I mean,
I know what
lost,
you're all
but
thinking.
There we go.
They must have thought about fly spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have gone, these guys are going to have fly spells and they're going to try them, they're going to,
You don't know, do you? That's the beauty of the game, is that you don't know what
yeah,
is...
but I mean, the idea that you could just fly, ignoring it all is a bit ridiculous.
Oh, it might not be everyone can do,
tie a rope, bang a rope in,
Do you know
start making your way across.
who's perfect for this?
You.
No, Parker.
You're the rogue. You're the rogue.
You're the
Parker's the nimbly kind of. I think this is Parker all over.
Do you reckon?
I think it's a
hop,
roguey
hop,
type
hop,
thing.
hop, hop.
I thought that's why we brought the rogue along.
Yeah, that's why we have the rogue here.
You brought the rogue along.
Well, we let her tag along.
We let her tag along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Alessandra takes out a little black book, makes some notes. Okay.
Well, that
Carry
just
on.
confirms our theory.
Yeah.
That she can write.
Well, no, they're just marks on the page. She's pretending.
Okay.
Off you
First
go.
column.
Well,
Tie a rope around Alessandra's waist.
Yeah.
And who's looking after the other one?
okay.
I'll move up to
If you
the
can find enough rope,
doors
obviously.
and hold one end of the rope.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to fly and land on
Going
the
to fly,
first
are you?
column.
Yep. And land on the first column.
A couple of things happen.
A couple of things happen. First thing that happens is that you're completely fine. It's just a 5-foot hop using your wings of flying to that first column and landing on it.
Yeah, gently.
Mistake.
Nothing happens. What do you want to do now?
It's just a column. It's nothing. There's nothing extraordinary about it. Nothing.
It's the golden child.
Okay, and the next
Yeah.
one's
The next
a few
one's-
feet higher.
It is a little. The second column is 2 feet higher than the first one. That last one was only a 5-foot hop, and now it's 7 feet. What do you want to do?
Can anybody detect magic?
Sort of thing
Might be able
that
to.
we could do.
Can we just detect some magic to see if there's any kind of thing that might stop a flying
Yeah,
person?
I
in the
guess
middle
I
of
can
flying?
do that.
What I didn't catch, Mike, was
I'll
how
do detect
far
magic, Mike.
how far down are the swirling
80
blue
feet.
cloud?
80
okay.
feet below the floor
80
level.
feet.
So at the moment, they're 82 feet below Alessandra.
80.
They'd be 84 feet below
Yeah.
Alessandra were she to be able to jump to the second pillar.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to the edge next
Yes.
to Buggy and do detect magic.
Okay, tell me about how that works. I mean, there's
I
a
use
shit
my
ton of
stumpy
magic.
little-
It's just a question of what's what. Right?
42 years of experience. 42
Yeah, you'd
years
want
of
a DM
experience.
that
and you want
understands how
Okay.
spell. spells
yeah.
work.
For the
Detect
duration,
magic.
you sense the
Find your
presence of
detect magic
magic.
spell is strangely suppressed. Session.
In fact, a
You can
giant
see a
demon
faint
appears.
aura around any
And
visible.
when you try and detect magic on your fellow adventurers, they don't seem to have any magic on them either. Suddenly, right?
Faint
you can
auras.
detect what?
For the duration of the
Paint
spell, you
auras.
sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic
can
in this
detect
way,
some paint
you can
auras.
use your action to see faint auras around
Fireball.
any visible creature or object
Bit
in
of
the area
tulip.
that bears magic. And you learn the school of magic, if any.
There is a general magical field in the chamber itself. You seem to be looking into something which is suffused with magic, but that's background
Yeah.
magic, like background radiation. There's obviously something going on because you've got the lightning
Yeah.
crackles and vortices and whatever.
Yeah.
Column A, there's nothing. Column B, there's nothing. Column C, there is a faint magical aura. Do you want to spend your action and tell you what the aura is?
Yeah, you can tell me in the broom cupboard.
Sure.
for God's
You want to jump into the broom cupboard?
I
No,
mean,
don't jump
really?
into the broom
God,
cupboard
no,
because you
no.
might break it.
I mean, really.
I'll see you in there.
Right, how do I get into the broom cupboard?
God.
I
Just
actually-
go away, Graham. Just go away. Nobody
Where is
cares.
the... Oh, there's the broom cupboard.
Misty.
Where is Graham going in the broom cupboard?
Because he's just annoying.
I love the paint reference. Pharaoh.
Right, so, something that I hadn't appreciated, but now I do, so I will share.
Yeah.
The third column,
Yes.
appears to reach to the ceiling,
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
Ah.
It seems to only be a foot higher than the column before it. The next column seems to be rotating.
Right.
We may have missed that in the description. I think Mike told us both
No,
of
I got
those
the
things, but
rotating part.
I missed the fact that the third column appeared to go to the ceiling. Now that we recognise maybe it
And
doesn't.
it's an illusion that it goes to the ceiling.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, well,
Right.
I will fly to the second column
Alessandra.
after
The
I'm
moment
told.
that you set off into the air
Mhm.
between column A and column B,
Yes.
you sense a disturbance beneath you.
And it's disturbance in the
Curtain,
force.
the flat carpet of blue mist 80 feet below you,
Yes.
breaks, and from it emerge two huge vortices of sort of animated air that rush up the sides of the column towards you. I mean, we're talking about giant creatures.
Air elementals.
They are travelling at a prodigious rate and extending themselves towards you, and we will find out
Oh,
what they are, how much trouble you're in,
Michael.
what's going on with this room of columns. Have you found the true tomb of Akosiol?
Yes.
When we pick things up next week.
God. And the actual colour, the Pharaoh and Ball colour that we're talking
Eh?
about.
It's a shade, Paul.
It's a shade.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be here all week.
I'm here all week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really here all week? Oh, God.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. A Gathering of Winds and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. A Gathering of Winds was written by Wolfgang Bauer. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!